Good evening, and welcome to A Night of Laughs, presented by Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, PenFed Realty, Texas. I'm Tiffany Costello, your co-host for tonight's event, benefiting the Sunshine Kids Foundation. I know now more than ever, we can all use some extra laughter and charitable kindness, and that's what this evening is all about. We have a great virtual show lined up for you with 6 of Texas's own top comedians who are all waiting to make you laugh. Most importantly, this Night of Laughs is an opportunity to share the Sunshine Kids Foundation with you. The Sunshine Kids Foundation was founded in 1982 by Rhoda Tomasco while she was serving as a volunteer in the pediatric cancer unit of a hospital in our great state of Texas. After witnessing the loneliness and depression among children during their extended hospital treatments, Rhoda had a vision to provide these young cancer patients with opportunities to participate in positive group activities, which promoted self-esteem, personal accomplishments, and just plain old-fashioned fun. That original group of kids named themselves the Sunshine Kids, as it was one of their greatest wishes to step outside and feel the sunshine. They bonded over their excursions outside the walls of the hospital and connected with other children who understood what they were each going through. The reason Sunshine Kids is so important to me is that it gives these young kids an opportunity to forge friendships with other kids facing the same struggles, such as chemotherapy, radiation, hair loss, or even the loss of a limb. It means so much when these kids are able to talk to someone their own age that truly understands what they are going through. Today, Rhoda's vision has been realized many times over as thousands of children from hospitals across the country have reaped the benefits of the Sunshine Kids Foundation's many programs and national and regional events. Funded by personal contributions, corporations, and foundations, the Sunshine Kids continues, as it has since its inception, to provide all its activities completely free of charge to the children and their families. And here to share a little bit more about the organization is Jennifer Weisler, Executive Director for the Sunshine Kids, and one of our very own Sunshine Kids, Maddox.
Hello, I'm Jennifer with Sunshine Kids Foundation. Sunshine Kids is a national nonprofit organization dedicated to children with cancer. The mission of the Sunshine Kids Foundation is to add quality of life to children with cancer by providing them with exciting, positive group activities so that they may once again do what kids are meant to do, have fun and celebrate life. We long for the day when Sunshine Kids will no longer need to exist. But until that time, the Sunshine Kids family and all of our supporters are dedicated to providing the most exciting activities, trips, and events for as many young cancer patients and their families as possible. It's not always about the activities that the kids are participating in. A lot of times the magic of Sunshine Kids is in the connections that are created between the patients when they meet. Imagine getting the chance, if you're battling cancer as a child, to meet another kid your same age also going through that same struggle. That is the magic of the Sunshine Kids. One of our parents said it best when she said that she would never know what cancer has taken away from her daughter, but what she does know is that what Sunshine Kids has given back to her daughter. A sense of community, knowing that she's not alone in her fight, and a renewed strength and courage to continue her battle. Thank you for supporting tonight's virtual fundraiser, and a special thank you to all of our friends from Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, PenFed Realty, Texas. We can't tell you how much we appreciate your support. If you would like to make a donation on behalf of the Sunshine Kids Foundation to make incredible once-in-a-lifetime opportunities possible for the kids, please visit the link at the bottom of the screen. Have an incredible evening, and thank you again for your support.
Hi, my name is Maddox Colleen. I'm 10 years old. I'm being treated at Medical City Children's Hospital in Dallas. We found out about the Sunshine Kids in the hospital, and I'm very happy to be a part of it.
And why are you happy to be a part of the Sunshine Kids?
Because they have given families like mine a chance to do something that we wouldn't normally be able to do.
And what's something that you've gotten to do that we wouldn't normally get to do?
Have a meet and greet with Elvis Andrews, the Rangers shortstop.
The Texas Rangers
Best
baseball.
sports team ever.
Yes, he's a huge Ranger fan. So yeah, that was a fun night. We got to have a meet and greet. We got to talk with Elvis and ask him questions and learn about him. And then after that, we got dinner too. We got to have dinner.
Yeah,
and then we got to enjoy the baseball game, even though it wasn't a very good game.
Didn't finish very well.
Yeah, but before the game was the best thing.
Yeah, before the game was the best.
Yes, thanks to the Sunshine Kids. So.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be a Sunshine Kid.
Thank you, Maddox. And thank you, Jennifer, for all that you do for these amazing kids and their families. If you're just now joining us, welcome to a Night of Laughs benefiting the Sunshine Kids Foundation. Now is the part of the night where you send the kids off to the other room and grab your cocktail of choice as the comedy is about to begin. You can also take this time to head over to pfrcares.com to make a donation, or if you're not in a place to make a donation this evening, we ask that you share this event with others to help us spread the word. So let's get to the laughs and hand it over to my comedy co-host who is in the studio with our comedians.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a Night of Laughs, powered by Berkshire Hathaway. I'm Gretcho. I'm your host this evening. This show is benefiting the Sunshine Kids Foundation. The Sunshine Kids Foundation adds quality of life to children with cancer by providing them with exciting, positive group activities so that they may once again do what kids are meant to do: have fun and celebrate life. So without further ado, let's jump right into the show. Your first comedian is one of my favorite up-and-comers in the DFW scene. Let's give it up for the very funny Zach Sprung.
Berkshire Hathaway. What's going on? Oh, man. Glad to be here, you guys. Glad to be here. So my name's Zach Sprung, and I'm a married guy. I've been married almost 13 years now. Yeah, thank you. So it makes me a vet, you know. And there's a lot of differences, you know, between like a newlywed couple, you know, and like a vet couple. For example, like when you're a newlywed couple and your lady puts on a sexy pair of underwear, you're like, yep, this is about to be a good night, right? Me the other day, my wife puts on a sexy pair and I'm like, hey, baby, how's it going? She's like, slow your roll, cowboy. It's my last clean pair. Man, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Man, I don't know how you guys have been during quarantine here when we've been locked up, but I found out that my wife decided to take advantage of it and train me. Yeah, she has me trained. It's terrible. I don't know if you know the iPhone feature, the Find My Phone. You know, you press the button and makes a noise, tells you where your phone is. So I'm sitting in the kitchen the other day minding my own business, and I hear that noise. And instinctively, I just get up, and I walk over, and I grab the phone, and I pick it up. And I go and I walk it into the bedroom, and just before I give it to my wife, I realize something, you guys. Nobody's asked me to find a phone. Nobody's asked me to do a thing. I've been trained like Pavlov's dogs to the noise. It's great. I'm like, hey, honey, you realize that you didn't even ask me to do this, right? She's like, I know. Isn't it great? I'm like, no, not really. Not for me. It's terrible. Awful. Now, my wife and I, we met on eHarmony, and that's like the OG of dating websites, you know? It's like super old, you know? People used to be like, oh man, you're going to go on a date with somebody you met online? They're going to be a psycho. Fast forward 13 years later, and we've got Tinder. Come on, you know? It's like, you know, eHarmony, you used to have to pay to be on that website. Tinder, you get STDs for free there all day long. It's like, I remember, you know, that profile was super long and hard to fill out on eHarmony, you know. I had to take a nap, go to the bathroom, take a shower before, like, page 1, you know. Tinder, a couple of nude pics in 10 minutes, and you're good to go, you know. All you really have to do is be able to decipher emojis, you know. It's like peach, water, eggplant. Well, it's about to be a good night, right? And that's the crazy thing, too, you know. Text messaging has changed so much, you know. You remember when we actually used to use proper grammar and spelling? Right? We used to have our little flip phones. You click the number there, and get the right word. And then we could just kind of digressed and started spelling you're like you are. And then we just went to emojis, LOL and WTF. Now we've just gone straight up emojis, you know? That's all we do. It's crazy. You open your phone, it's like peach, pear, plum, water, high five, shotgun. I don't know what that means. I don't have a degree in Egyptology, hieroglyphics. Like, how am I supposed to figure that out, you know? And my problem with it is really is like, until they come up with a hoagie emoji, there's nothing that accurately represents my body type. And this is for the fellas, really, like, how did we decide that an eggplant should represent what it represents? Right? Like, whose thing is that? The Hunchback of Notre Dame? Like, have you seen an eggplant up close? It's like, you know, it's curved, it's purple, it's thin on one side, it's all fat and warty on the other. Like, you know, our stuff is ugly enough as it is, guys. She thinks you're taking that out and we're going to be in trouble, you know? Next time we have enough to make a quorum, guys, we are changing that, man. It is not happening. Now, I'm a dad as well. And being a dad is great, man. It's awesome. I got a 10-year-old daughter, and she's great. But just like every kid, you know, she does stuff that pisses me off. For my daughter, it's more like she's a Motel 6. You know, like, we'll leave the light on for you. Just constantly, all the time, turning them off. But I have become a much better parent now, a much better parent. I figured it out. Now when I put her to bed, and she's like, oh, Dad, would you leave all the lights on for me? I just lean in, and I'm like, oh, sweetheart, you don't want Daddy to do that. The serial killer's going to find you for sure that way. I know, it is messed up, but it is very effective. The house is pitch black now. The power bill's nice and low. I'm sure I'm going to make up for that cost in therapy later in life, but that is a dice roll that I am willing to take, you know? Willing to take, man. Now, when I was younger, I had a really interesting job in high school. I was a radio DJ, actually. And I thought it was going to be a lot of fun, but I kind of got bored, you know? Now, I have to mention it was for a Christian radio station, so there's really only one thing you can talk about when you have radio breaks, you know? So I'd get a radio break and I'd be like, all right, everybody, that was a great song about Jesus. Coming up next, we've got a song about the one, the only Father God. Now, I want you to know that this hour has been brought to you by Saltines Crackers, the world's best communion cracker, and Welch's White Grape Juice, because drinking the real thing is a sin. Now, I need everybody to pay attention because we've got our huge monthly contest coming up. It's an all expenses paid for by the blood of Christ trip to heaven. And it's super easy to qualify. All you need to do is take them into your heart. This has been GOD 666 AM Radio, reminding you, don't touch that dial or you'll go to hell. So I went into my boss's office and I said, man, I'm kind of bored. It's not really for me. He made me put in my 40 days and 40 nights, and that was the end of my radio career. I was done. You know what's funny, too, about being a dad is, have you ever noticed that when a dad introduces himself to a group of other dads, it's kind of like he's at a 12-step meeting, you know? Comes to the party and it's like, hey, how's it going? My name is Zach. I have a wife, Bichon Frise, and a daughter. The other day I thought about having an opinion, but I talked to my sponsor until that feeling went away. They're like, how's it going? Welcome, Zach. Welcome on in. Yeah, I know. I'm a dad, too. I appreciate you being here, you know? That's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. Well, Berkshire Hathaway, I heard that you guys wanted to be roasted. So I took the time, and I got a little roast for you guys here. Now, when I heard that the executive team did want to be roasted, I knew that it was very important to maintain professionalism and integrity. So naturally, I took one glance at your website pictures and based everything that I'm about to say on that and completely superficial observations. So Rick Wiley, when I saw your biopic, I thought I was in an episode of Scooby-Doo, and you were one of those terrifying paintings that watches you everywhere you go. Russell Rhodes. Now, your smile doesn't scream buy a house for me, but it does scream buy this 1999 Mitsubishi Eclipse off my lot. Nathan Brainerd. Are you even old enough to be employed? What a baby face. You could be a model for Gap Kids. Tiffany Costello. Thank God your name isn't Karen. Otherwise, everybody would be expecting you to get the manager everywhere you go. Steve Goff. Rather than career development, I would work on developing your hairline. Paul Griggs. If you knocked on my door, I wouldn't expect you to sell a house, but I would expect you to tell me about how being a Jehovah's Witness is great. Missy Berry. You definitely look related to Drew Carey. Troy Teichelman. Now, he only sells houses when he's not doing keg stands with his frat bros. Nick Galloway. Before he sold houses, he used to get into fights and say, oh, yeah, do you know who my father is? To the cops. Caroline Hernandez. Now, your eyes say I'm sweet, but that smirk on your face says I'm about to drink too much wine at your party. Angela Stilson. Am I mistaken, or were you on an episode of Cheer Moms? Thank you guys so much. That's all my time. I'm Zach Sprung. You've been great.
Your next comedian is your favorite Berkshire Hathaway agent, the very funny J.D. Poe.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Gretcho. Thank you. Oh, man, it is good to be here in your living room. It's good to be here. No, I'm just like you guys. I'm a realtor. I'm married to my phone. The Dallas North Tollway loves me, constantly spending money on that. I wish I could get that in a refund. Let me tell you, they love me a lot. I'm actually just getting over my second year, and I'm just getting past my treat for my closing stage. You know what I mean? You guys familiar? Treat for my closing? It's wherever you have a closing, and you reward yourself with a little treat, a little excess. I was when you're not doing so good, you're just starting out, first 6 months, not making a ton of money. I thought every single closing had to have a little treat. I was getting iced coffees every day. I was going to steakhouses. It was a mess. I was like, well, it's just a little treat for my closing. Well, this bottle of champagne, $200. Yeah, this is a treat for my closing. I'm sure you guys remember. I mean, my volume didn't exactly increase, but the treats kept getting bigger and bigger. I was selling a house out in Frisco, and I was like, well, I just had a closing. How about a new car? It's just a treat for my closing. It was a mess. It was a lot of money I should have been spending at a time where I was barely doing okay. I got a little phone call from an organization you guys know pretty well, a little boy band out of the government called the IRS. Yeah, that was rough. They told me I should probably cut back on all the treats for my closing. And I was like, why? And they're like, well, because you got to pay your taxes. Some of that treat for your closing is for us. I'm sure you guys know that feeling. These are strange times with the whole COVID going on, really unique times. I'm doing comedy into a camera. So, unique, strange times. They're unprecedented times. And everyone drove that phrase into the ground. I put that in every email I wrote. Transaction coordinator, broker, clients, other agents. I write to you in these unprecedented times. You know what else is unprecedented? The government started cutting checks for 1099 people. I got a PPP loan and an SBA loan the same week. I was living life. They were like, stay home, get paid. I was like, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I was all about it. And also, these are just jokes in case there's any sort of auditors or tax people out there. Just jokes. That's not true. You know what I mean? Don't worry about it. I haven't made an outbound phone call in months. I'm like, this is awesome. This is ridiculous. I'm just getting paid. I'm like, is this socialism or is it communism? Which one ruins countries and which one are we doing? 'Cause this is kind of tight. I'm like, we should test it out maybe. This is fun. Just sitting at home. You can start your day in your underwear and end it in pajamas. It's really fun. It's nice. But alas, all things are, changing. The society's changing. The words we can say are changing. And I'm all for it. I am very much all for it. I'm excited about it. And they finally came for realtors. Cancel culture finally came for real estate agents. They told us we shouldn't say master bedroom. And I get it. It's demeaning. It's dismissive. Get rid of it. The only issue is they didn't give us an alternative. I got in some hot water at a showing the other day. I was walking around showing. I was explaining to them, hey, this is the kitchen, beautiful kitchen. Love the granite. That is spot on. Beautiful granite. Pool, Pebble Tech, beautiful. So excited for you guys to enjoy that pool. We saw bedrooms, hall bath, same granite in it, top of the line. Really nice. We were so overjoyed with the house. We were looking. We saw the utility room. Hey, utility room, beautiful. Look at that. Wow, shiplap. Shiplap on everything. I want shiplap in my garage, I tell you. There is shiplap everywhere. If we could put shiplap on cars, we would. I think we did that back in the day. Looking at the washer and dryer. Hey, it's about a $5,000 value. Hope it stays. Well, might be able to get that for you. Also, this isn't how I show. This is just an act for the sake of the joke. If you show like this, it's kind of unique. It's kind of different. We finally get to the precipice, to the linchpin, and we're there, and we're looking at it, and I'm like, hey, here we are. This is the here's your biggest bedroom. Your biggest bedroom. And they're looking at me like I have a third eye. And they're like, you mean the master? And I'm like, yes, thank you so much. Better my clients to say it. Trek has told us not to say it. People have told us not to say it. We shouldn't say it. But yes, the master bedroom. Thank you so much. Your lips to God's ears. Thank you so much for saying that. And attached to the master bedroom is your master bath. And they're like, yeah, it's the master bathroom. I'm like, okay, great. I'm not crazy. Thank you so much. Oh, whew. Oh, that's better. Good. Awesome. Anyway, my name is JD Poe. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for your time. Please donate to this charitable cause. If any of the comics tonight have made you laugh, it's going to a really good cause, a really good organization. And again, my name is JD Poe. You say it in one breath, the same way your mom says Barack Obama, all at once. The same way your dad says ZZ Top, all at once. It's 5 letters. Can't mess it up. Again, thank you. And stay inside. Wash your hands.
Thank you, JD. Your next comedian is one of my personal favorites. Let's give it up for the very funny Shayan Jahani.
Thank you so much. Guys, one more time for Gretchen. Give it up for her. Thank y'all so much for having me here. My name is Shayan Jahani. This was not a name I chose. That's for damn sure. I didn't do that. That was my dad's fault. He's an asshole is what he is. He's also a good father. Those two things kind of go together sometimes. Shayan Jahani, like I said, it wasn't a name I chose. My dad gave it to me. Like I wanted something with like power or like oomph, something that had, some muscle, like Connor or like Hunter, or, gunmetal, just anything with a little body that doesn't sound like it just kind of flies off the end of your tongue and just kind of falls on the ground lazily. Something with something cool. I met my last company I was at, my CEO's son came in, and I went up to him. I had a good, strong handshake, and I was like, "Sir, what's your name?" And he said, "Gunner," and I quit my job. I quit right then and there. I couldn't handle it because the CEO's son was tougher than me, so he was 8. He was 8, too. I should probably have mentioned that. He had a stronger hand grip than me. That's what was bad. If you for those of you out there, don't get discouraged on having a weird or different name. If you do, it's totally fine. You're in good company. You just have to have a sense of humor about it. And if there are any couples out there and you're thinking about having a kid or something like that, just be very cognizant that if you're going to name them something weird, like, I don't know, Space Jam or Tweezer, or, I don't know, Joe Biden or some shit like that, just make sure they have a sense of humor. I'm a comic. I've always been super, I love having fun with people. And I like to give people a little bit of a hard time with my name. And actually, I had a chance to do this not too long ago. I was at the doctor last week. Now, before you freak the hell out, it was not COVID. You can still go to the doctor for other reasons. A lot of people forget that. So I was at the doctor. I'm sitting down. The nurse comes to chart my information. She looks at the page. She looks at me. She looks at the page. She's charting my information. She did something that I really appreciate. It was real silent, real quiet, 8 minutes of silence, enough to make it weird that you're in an 8x5 room and you haven't said a word to one another. And she did something. She leans in real close and she goes, "I'm sorry, sir, but could you say your name for me?" And I remember I kind of sat back and I was just like, No, you say my name for me. Sound it out. Come on, let's try it. And she was like, "It's just been such a long day." I'm like, "It's 9:30. I'm your first patient. Don't mess with me. Don't do that. Let's not do that. Come on, please, just try it once, and then you can, maybe you'll figure it out thereafter." But she didn't. Finally, she just kept haranguing me over and over again. And finally, I was like, "Listen, I'll say it for you once, and then never again." And she goes, "Okay." And she's just waiting there on the edge of her seat. And I was like, "Look down at the page," and she looks down, and she's studying, and I go, "It's Ted." And she looks up a little confused, and she was like, it doesn't look like shh, 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 shh. SHAHYANJAHANI. Ted. All the letters are silent and just say some white guy's name. It doesn't matter. Send the doctor in. This itches. I'm a perfectly healthy, maybe Mexican-American, maybe Greek young man. You don't know. I'm racially ambiguous, man. It's all in the look, too. It's not necessarily in the name. People look at me and they're like, I don't know. I don't know if I should be offended, mad, angry, hate you. I have no idea. You look weird. You look like a tan, well-mannered young man. And it's crazy because people always just kind of shoot from the hip with it. It's like I'm a shitty carnival game and everyone's just trying to guess like my weight, my shoe size, and my ethnicity at all times. So that's always fun. I had a dude sprint up to me in the mall. And he just goes, hey, man, I got some questions for you. And I was like, hey, man, I don't take too kindly to someone sprinting out of a gadzooks like that. So why don't you check the time and get to stepping? You should not bother me. And he goes, no, man, I just got a couple questions for you, and then I'm going to guess your ethnicity. And I was like, I'd really rather you don't. And he goes, nah, man, I think I got it. And this is what people always do. If you hang out with someone racially ambiguous, watch this phenomenon happen. They're always going to guess at the very top shelf of what they want you to be the most. Why? Because they've always wanted to meet one of those without fail. Without fail. I had a dude run up to me and he was like, hey, man, are you Jamaican? And I was like, Jamaican? Really? No, I mean, yeah, man. I don't know. Whatever will get this conversation over as quick as possible. So this dude runs up to me and he's just like, yo, man, all right, here we go. And he started at the top. He goes, are you Spanish? Are you from Spain? And I was like, oh my gosh, no. And immediately, like I had deflated his beach ball and peed in his cereal, he just goes, where are you, Italian at least? And I was like, at least? Why are they second place? And he goes, I don't know, man. I always wanted to meet a Spanish. I was like, you're real dumb, huh? Yeah, real dumb. And he was like, but I got one more guess. And I was like, holy shit, brother, you know more than 3 countries? That's impressive. And he goes for his last guess. He dives deep. I see him thinking. He goes, are you freaking Greek, man? But he said it with this face that he was like smelling feta cheese at the same time. Like something stunk and something was unsettling. And I was like, dude, strike 1, strike 2, strike 3. You are out. And he goes, I got one more. And I was like, you never cease to amaze me, sir. And he leans in close and almost as if he wanted to whisper, like he was checking around to see if they were around. He was like, are you Middle Eastern? And I leaned in even closer and I grabbed his collar and I was like, that's not a country, bitch. You got to be more specific. You named a region. I wanted you to name a country. You failed. I don't like that. That's bad. And he threw up his arms and he was like, yo, man, I didn't do that good in geometry class. And I just left. I'll be honest with you. I can't handle a conversation like that. I am out. And again, it's in the appearance. I know what I look like. I'm aware, for all of you watching, that I look like an ex-ISIS agent, got lost from the rest of the group, walked through an Urban Outfitters, listened to a Mumford & Sons album, and then showed up here. I get that. I get that's how I look. These come in a 3-pack. I get that I look like an ex-ISIS agent, opened up a CrossFit gym, and started his own line of pre-workout. I get that. I get that that's a thing, totally. Y'all want 3? Okay, 3 is coming. Here's the third one. I get that I look like a member of Hezbollah married a white woman and then got dragged to an IKEA and then a Marshall's to get this freaking shirt. You know why? Because I did marry a white woman. I have been to IKEA and this shirt is from Marshall's. Thank you very much. Stamp that. That's mine. Yes. Man, it's with how crazy things are with race relations and everything going crazy, everything going haywire. It's just, you got to calm down for a brief moment and just think of what's important. And my dad instilled 2 lessons in me that I thought were very important. And I want to see if you guys agree with this. Now, just by clicks or jamming on your keyboard or whatever you want to do something to tell me that you think that we should be patient with one another and we should try to teach one person one thing every day. Okay, yeah, I assume everyone is mashing their keypads. That's good. See, my dad, he taught me, and I had a unique time, like right before COVID, right before all this crazy stuff happened, I was at a strip club. Don't worry about where the lesson is taking place. The Lord works in mysterious ways. And I sat down at the strip club, and there was a young lady sitting next to me. She was under the impression she was going to be getting cash money. She was not. And then there was another young lady on a pole doing crazy tricks. At one point, she made her body go parallel to the ground. It was the most majestic thing I'd ever seen. It was called the human flag trick. It was next level. And I didn't know what to do, so I ran to the lady next to me. I was like, ma'am, I don't know where to touch you. That's appropriate. Ma'am, I just patted her on the head. I was like, your colleague on stage is very talented. Now, why I decided to go with office lingo in a strip club is beyond me. But I did. And she goes, what? And I was like, your colleague on stage is very talented. And she was like, what are you saying? And I don't know why I doubled down, but I was like, your cohort exhibits exemplary skills. She'll get great marks in her quarterly review. I don't know why I said that part. I did. But she was like, what are you saying? And I was like, that lady's hot. What's her story? Can you make your body go parallel to the ground like that? And she was like, what is that word you're using? And I was like, wait, which one? And she goes, the P one. And I was like, parallel? And she was like, yeah, what does that mean? It sounds exotic. She like got weak in the knees a little bit. She was like, parallel. Ooh, swoon. I was just like, no. It's geometry. Is that sexy? Are we cool with that? And she was like, well, don't hold me in suspense. Show me what it means. Tell me. And I was like, all right, lady. So I just grabbed a bar napkin and I drew 2 lines that never met at a central point. Y'all remember? And she grabbed the bar napkin and she goes, dude, I know what equals is. And I go, God damn it. And I just walked away from that situation because you're not going to win them all. You're not going to teach one person one thing when that one person is a dum-dum. So I'm leaving the strip club and I walk and I bump into a lady physically. She hits me on the shoulder. She goes, oh my gosh, you're cute. Where are you from? And I was like, oh, not used to this treatment in this building. I'm Cheyenne. I'm from Dallas. And she looks me dead in the eye. She goes, no. And I was like, which part? My name or where I was for sure born? And she goes, like, what are you? And I was like, what am I? A person? And she goes, well, you know what I mean. Like, why are you? And I was like, oh, sweet, my whole body is offended now, not just my face. Why are you circling my face, ma'am? And she goes, I just want to find out where you're from. I was like, listen, lady, I just told you I'm from Dallas. I was born in Baylor Hospital. There's a freaking paper trail on me. You can go check that shit out. I was born in Dallas. The reason why I look this way is because my parents are from Iran. And she looked me dead in the eye. She goes, yeah, I think you mean Iraq. And I was like, no. And I got like in a 20-minute argument as to how Iran is a country that has existed for centuries. And she still didn't believe me. So I was like, listen, lady, I'm going to prove it to you one way or another. And I grabbed another bar napkin. And I drew the whole Middle East from memory. What they don't tell you is when you're from there, you can do that kind of thing. So I drew the whole Middle East from memory. It was in a topographical map, the whole entire Arabian Peninsula. I slid it over, and I was like, ma'am, this is the best thing I've ever drawn on a bar napkin. This is the entire Arabian Peninsula. This is Iran. It's a country. You can take this home. And she goes, I don't think I want. I was like, I don't think you understand. This is the best thing I've ever drawn. In this very moment, I am Leonardo da Vinci, and this is my Mona Lisa. Go, take it, frame it. And she goes, yeah, dude, it's a cool drawing. Calm down, though. Who the hell is Da Vinci? And I was like, God damn it. Are there no cultured people in this baby dolls? What is happening? Guys, you've been absolutely wonderful. My name is Cheyenne Jahani. Let's get your host back up here. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, Cheyenne. How is everyone feeling? Good? Great. Your next comedian is fresh off the plane from New York City. Let's give it up for the very funny Jamie Gravy.
Thank you, Gretchen. Wow, it is good to be here. Let me tell you. Wow, you're all looking great. Look at you. Jeez, I'll tell you what, I haven't seen a good-looking bunch like this in a long time. I'm really excited to be here, though. You know, it's been a crazy year. We could all use a laugh. I'll tell you that much, you know. But I have been getting a lot of things done during this quarantine time. Like, for example, I got my will updated. You know, not a lot there to give, but I got the funeral procession under wraps, you know, because that was important to me. Because right now, there's a big fad in our society to do the whole celebration of life thing, you know, where people come to your funeral on the day that you've passed away and celebrate, basically. And yeah, not in my day. I put in my will. I don't want any celebrations of life. Are you kidding me? The one day in your life where you get everybody in the world you've ever known to pity you, and they want to take that away? They want to have a freaking party on my death day? I don't think so. No, I put in my will. I want pure weeping. I want only sadness. I want just the most sad funeral. I want people, mascara and tears just running off chins and dripping down. I'm going to hire like sweet old ladies to come in the church and like faint while they walk in, like, and people have to hold them up because they're just so distraught that I passed, you know. I want it to be the saddest funeral in the world. Like, I want to have only the saddest stuff. I want to have Coldplay playing from beginning to end only. I want to have the saddest food. I'm going to have fried bologna sandwiches just on a silver platter being passed around. I want a slideshow of like all the sweet things I've ever done. Like, I want to have like me, you know, hugging babies and like, you know, kissing old people on the cheek and stuff and like doing third world mission trips. I got to work on those mission trips. Who's got the time, 2020 has been a rough year, though. It really has. I mean, I'll tell you what, it really hit its highest terrible point recently when I went to the grocery store, when I was going to get some Oreos. You see, when I was a kid growing up, we had Oreo, right? Great ratio of cookie to cream. Then, in the 90s, they stepped it up big time. Double stuffed Oreos. I thought life couldn't get any better, and it didn't. Now, fast forward to 2020. What do I see when I go to try to get some Oreos? Oreo thin. Do you hear me, folks? They're taking away the cream. I mean, how much? When's it enough? They're just going to keep taking away cream, the best part of an Oreo. I mean, when does it stop, folks? What are they going to do next? No cream, only cookie? It's ridiculous. That's the problem with this country. I mean, what are they going to do? Start taking away kids' Legos? Hey, kids, you like Oreos? How about no more cream? Does our youth deserve this? I don't think so. Makes me sick. Everybody's trying to go, like during quarantine, people have actually been sober during this whole thing. Because that's a big trend right now is sobriety. I don't know about you guys, but there's no way in hell I could be sober around my family during quarantine, Some people say, well, Jamie, I want to be sober because I want to enjoy my life. And that's the problem, folks. See, I don't need to be sober to have a good time. Charitable, I'm a nice guy, very charitable. I'm huge on charity, of course. Always giving. Only when people are around, though. If people aren't watching, what's the point? Anytime I'm with somebody, someone asks for money, of course, I'll give the biggest bill in my wallet. But if I'm alone, no one's going to see me give. I don't see how that's... That's why I always share GoFundMe pages on Facebook, because people think you've given, but you don't have to. You can just share it. People think, wow, what a nice guy. But I'd never will do it. Just share it. You look great, My ideal, I want to get rich enough to where one day I can go to like a charity auction and bid the highest in the auction. That way, I look really good to the eyes of the elite. It's always been one of my goals, Speaking of charity, if you guys are hiring, I can't pass a drug test and I've been arrested, but, if you can hire a guy like, Paul Griggs, I would think, how hard is it I could show some houses off, look. See, I looked at his picture though, Paul Griggs. He's got a nice picture, doesn't he? He's trying to look smooth, which I get it. I'm way too good looking to be doing comedy. That's probably why I'll never make it. Because seriously, I'm way too good looking to be a comedian. Look at all the greats. Rodney Dangerfield, disgusting. Richard Pryor, ew. George Carlin, no thank you. Look at this mug. I stand no chance in the comedy game. Way too good looking. It's not even fair. All I got to have is an ugly face. I got to work 10 times harder to make jokes funny, because everybody's just constantly looking at me, just jealous of this beauty, and I know you might be thinking too, hey, Jamie, you're not that good looking, and I appreciate you're trying to be sweet, but I have mirrors. Okay, so the only thing I got going for me is my thinness. The only thing keeps me humble. And my roommate had the audacity to try to get me to go to the gym. Can you imagine this with muscles? It wouldn't even be fair, It's ridiculous. I don't know. But I will, I don't mind flying for you guys if you do wind up hiring me. That's fine. I will travel if I need to, but I really hate flying. It terrifies me. It's something that it's always scared me, it's just frightening. It's a death trap when you think about it. And people always try to cheer me up, well, Jamie, that's ridiculous. Flying is very safe. In fact, you're more likely to die in a car wreck than you are a plane wreck. Really? How about you get in a plane wreck, I'll get in a car wreck. We'll see who walks away. What do you think? You want to do that? No. I do. I hate flying. I've got a lot of flight anxiety. In fact, when I flew down here from New York, I was so nervous about the flight. I always have to have a drink or two, to kind of settle my nerves. Sure, it was 10 a.m. You don't need to judge me, okay? Jeez. No, I see the way you're looking at me, Paul. So, of course, I had some drinks, so I got a gin and tonic. And now I guess they were just so grateful to have us all on the plane because, it was a little scarce on the plane as due to COVID, I guess. So I had a whole row to myself. So I ordered my gin and tonic. She goes, hey, this one's on us. I was like, wow, okay. So I got another one. This one also was on the house. So I was like, how far can we get this thing going, After about 5 drinks, I was like, do I dare have another one? And of course I did because I already had 5 drinks. I was like, yes, I'll take a 6th. At the 6th drink, she said something weird. She goes, sir, I'll give you this, but I am going to have to charge you. I'm like, yeah, like that's perfectly fine. Like is someone complaining about this buy one, get 5 deal? I don't know. This is fantastic. Like excuse me, yes, your stewardess gave me 5 free drinks and then had the audacity to charge me for a 6th. Like, I'll take that. Thank you. That's fine. I'll pay for the one, you know. And one time I was so nervous going overseas, right? I went from New York to London. That's a 6-hour flight. Your boy Jamie was nervous. I was like, oh yeah, this is probably it. So I made sure to get super drunk. I mean, I just sat in the cocktail lounge just drinking a lot of whiskey. I was like, my goal was to pass out so that way when I inevitably die in the plane wreck, I won't be awake for it. That was my thought. And it worked like a charm. As soon as I got on the plane, I like barely really remember getting on it. I just remember ordering food, you know, for overseas flight. I got the chicken. The chicken looked pretty good. That was the last thing I remember. And then I woke up in London. I was like, oh man, too bad I didn't get to have that chicken, you know. So anyway, so I get out of the plane and I was like, man, I'm a little hungry, you know. Remember that chicken looked good, but hey, at least I'm here in London. I'm safe. And I'm walking through the airport and I go grab my passport. And I just look down at my passport. I notice like all this like dried sauce on my fingers. I was like, oh, I guess I had that chicken. And apparently I ate it with my hands. Like what kind of drunken maniac did I look like? Just like, the chicken's good, man. This is delicious. Well, folks, thank you so much. My name's Jamie Gravy. I really appreciate you guys having me. Let's get Gretcho back up here.
Thank you, Mana. Before I introduce your headliner, I want to remind you to please visit the PFR Cares website. The Sunshine Kids Foundation is funded by personal contributions, corporations, and foundations to provide all of its activities completely free of charge to children and their families. So please, visit pfrcares.com to donate to this great cause. Now, let's give it up for your headliner. He's won Funniest Comic in Texas the last 3 years in a row and produces the Plano Comedy Festival. Put your hands together for the very funny Wes Corwin.
Walk on. Here. This is good. It's comfortable. Guys, thank you so much for being here or wherever you are watching this from the place that you currently find yourself. That's great. It's good to meet you. My name is Wes Corwin. This is being recorded in a way. I rely on a little bit of crowd work, a little bit of back and forth, so I'm going to try this, and we're going to see if this goes anywhere. Give me an F. Didn't hear you guys. I need you to give me an F. Give me an F. Give me an F. Give me an F. All right, that's enough effing around. Let's start the set. Let's do the thing. Let's do the joke. Let's do stuff. My name is Wes Corwin. Quarantine's been weird. I guess let's start there. Here's the thing. People act, you guys have found a thing to do in the middle of quarantine, and that's great. People act like there's nothing to do. You can't do anything during quarantine. I think we can all be sure that's not the case. I'll give you proof, something you can do during quarantine. You can develop a drinking problem. I've been developing a drinking problem. Anybody can do it. It's great. This is the best time to have a drinking problem, right now, in the middle of quarantine. I'll give you proof. My wife became concerned about my drinking, so she organized an intervention for me via Zoom. Ever had a Zoom intervention? It's the easiest thing in the world to get out of. It's so easy. You just see all these faces and they're like, you're hurting yourself. We can't watch you do this. So you just turn off your video. Like, it's easy. They can't see. They're like, oh, we can't, we're going to be here for you all night. And that's when the 40-minute trial kicks off and they all have to upgrade their membership. Easy. There's nothing, oh man, you can't walk out on us. Yes, I can. There's a big red button that says leave and I can click it whenever I want. Easiest thing in the world. I don't know. I knew that I would never emotionally recover from quarantine after a couple recent events. I had two things happen very far apart. First thing that happened, this was like in April, and I was talking to my wife's best friend on the phone, and she was telling me about how she made an astrology star chart for her cat. And in the middle of explaining the difference between Mistopheles' sun sign and their moon sign and how it's very unique for a cat to have these things, I yelled out loud, "We should start a podcast!" And I just knew I would never recover from where I was. Tell you guys, I do appreciate you guys are doing this like a corporate thing, like a corporate event. So I'll tell you guys, in my day job, I do a little bit of software development. I'll tell you guys, the last corporate event I went on, before quarantine, me and about 7 of my coworkers went out to an escape room. And I don't know if you've been to an escape room. On the escape room wall, they have things like Rubik's Cubes and sliding puzzles, right? And when we walked in there, the first thing they said was, okay, now, using just what's in this room, get out as fast as you can. So I pulled the fire alarm. Everyone else was running for their nearest exit. All I did was stroll up to the front desk like, hey, I don't know where you want my initials. I'm pretty sure I set the high score. I'm pretty sure it's over. Pretty sure I win. Do I get the deed to the building? What happens? It's over, right? I want to let you guys know, not only did I get myself out, not only did I get my team out, but in the escape room next to ours, there was a 4th grade class there on a field trip, and I got them out too. Hero. That's right. That's me. Guys, when I escape, they call me George W. because no child gets left behind. That's right. I can see into the screen. I know for a fact some of you guys are thinking, oh, you didn't beat the escape room right. Yes, I did. I beat it the best way you can. Perfect run. I'll prove it to you, okay? Not only did I escape the escape room, I'm not allowed back at the escape room. Say it one more time for everybody listening, guys. When you are banned from an escape room, that's the most permanent escape you can make from an escape room. I got out so hard they won't let me back in. That's what that means. It's a victory. I really I like doing stuff like that in an escape room. I before quarantine when we could do things. Remember the olden days when we could do things. I used to. I've been collecting things I'm gonna start doing after quarantine when things open back up. I'll tell you some of my favorite. One of the things I have to do. One thing that I thought of after quarantine, I want to go to like a school play. I want to go to like a dance recital or a school play. One of those events where afterwards all the kids line up on stage, and then I just want to walk up to them, and as everybody's taking pictures, I'm just going to hold up my phone. And then when they start moving, I'm going to shift it over. I've never kidnapped anyone before, but this feels like if you just stay there and do this, they can't move. I feel like that's like a hostage situation that I can create, and I'm excited. I'm excited to do that. There's one thing I'm very excited about. I'm a big fan. I've never really been to the Renaissance Fair. Huge fan conceptually. I want to dress up in peasant clothes like start of the day and just walk around. I want to take my time getting to the Renaissance Fair. I want to go to like a McAllister's Deli and just get like a club sandwich and be, ooh, a sandwich made out of circles. What a modern marvel. Like, I want to be in the moment. I want to drive to the Renaissance Fair. I want to see all these people parking, and I want to go like, townspeople, have you seen this? There are a bunch of metal carriages outside. This is crazy. I want to like pull out my key and click mine and be like, this one, its eyes blink when I call to her, when I beckon to her. I will ride her into the future. Her name is Hyundai Elantra. And I want to get in the vehicle. I want to drive a mile down the road to the laser tag center that's just outside of Scarborough. I want to get dressed up in laser tag gear. I want to drive back to the Renaissance Fair and pop out like, guys, the future is horrible. Like that's what I'm excited about. I really want to do that. I know there's a lot of effort. I know you're listening to me say these things and you're like, what can I do when everything opens back up? What's something that's easy for me to partake in? I'll tell you, anybody could do this. I did this before quarantine. I'm going to do this a lot after quarantine. Anybody watching this, you can go to a Pee Wee soccer game. You can go to any Pee Wee soccer game. You can walk up to the sideline and start yelling as loud as you can. Let my kid play. Let my kid in the game right now. Now, when I say this, people get very confused. There are some people that appreciate it and laugh because they understand where it's going. A lot of people look at me like, wait, hold on. Did you say you can do this at any Pee Wee soccer game? Yes, any Pee Wee soccer game. Anyone. Have you ever felt the adrenaline thrill of holding eye contact with a Pee Wee soccer coach as he throws every child onto the field? There's nothing he can do to stop you. He's trying to put a jersey on the cooler to shut you up. He's yelling at 10 to 12-year-olds. Which of your drunk dads is that one? Which of your drunk dads came to this Pee Wee soccer game wearing a T-shirt where the front of the shirt reads, I put the bourbon in Suburban, and the back of the shirt reads, soccer, I hardly know her. Like, that's... You can yell anywhere that you want, guys. That's something to remember after quarantine. You can go anywhere and you can yell anywhere. The next time any of you guys are called in for jury duty, I want you to walk into the courtroom. I want you to walk up to the judge and I want you to yell, "Let my kid play! Put him in the game! He wants this so bad!" The judge is going to look at the jury pool and be like, "Which of your drunk dads showed up to the summons? Which of your drunk fathers came into my courtroom wearing a t-shirt where the front of the shirt reads, 'Public Defender, I hardly know her,' and the back of the shirt reads, 'I don't know about the rest of the jury, but I'm sure hung,'" which... Anyway, I'm selling t-shirts after the show. If you guys want to go to my website, I got t-shirts. Anyway, I hope this is going well. I'll just keep talking. My name is Wes Corwin. I'll tell you guys this. I feel like we're getting to know each other. I'll tell you guys my favorite quote of all time. This is something my dad said to me when I was very young. He said to me, "Wes, when you fall down 7 times, you stand up 8. If you can make it to the front door after that, you're good to drive." I recently got to tell that joke at the State Fair of Texas, which is where that joke belongs. And I don't know if you tell that joke at the State Fair of Texas like I did, I'll tell you, I got a one-man applause break from an 8-year-old boy. Like, it was the weirdest. Just an 8-year-old clapping like he's never clapped before. Yes! And I was like, "Thank you, young man." He was like, "No, thank you. It's about time. Someone's out here telling it like it is, you know?" I don't know. I don't know if you know this about Texas. The 3rd graders here actually drink at an 8th grade level. It's impressive. It's very fun. I'll tell you guys my favorite quote from history. This one's not a joke, just a good historical quote I think anyone can take with them. My favorite quote from a historical figure is, "It is only when we lose our way that we truly find ourselves." I think that's a great thought. I think it's a good quote. If you don't know who said that quote, it was Amelia Earhart. I want to let you know, before quarantine, I tried to tell that joke in Memphis, Tennessee, and someone in the back of the room got so angry. Somebody was just dead-eyed staring at me when I finished saying that. They called out, "Too soon!" Okay, she disappeared in 1939. We can all make Amelia Earhart jokes. The airwaves are open for Amelia Earhart jokes. Send the jokes out. They'll take off. You know, that's important. I got so confused. This person not only was upset in the moment, they stuck around to the end of the set to walk up to me and approach me and be like, "How dare you use Amelia Earhart's own words against her in a joke?" And I was like, "Oh, that's why you're mad. Okay, if that's why you're mad, don't worry, you shouldn't be, because Amelia Earhart never said that quote. She never said those words. I just think it's funny to say she did. It's a great setup punchline. It's fantastic. I think it's a solid. They got so. They were staring, and it's like they were still angry. And I was like, if it'll make you feel better, I'll tell you my real favorite Amelia Earhart quote. My actual favorite Amelia Earhart quote is, "I don't need the map," which. I have to cut that whole joke. I have to cut all of it's just, I want to let you know, I love quotes, as I've demonstrated, huge fan of quotes. I like to use quotes responsibly. I like to use quotes when I think they're appropriate. Some people act like it's always the time for a good quote. Words of wisdom are always wise, people say. I'll give you an example of when that is not the case. Have any of you guys ever heard the phrase, "Beauty isn't about what's on the outside, it's what's on the inside"? You guys heard that before? Beauty, it's not about what's on the outside, it's what's on the inside. I'll tell you the first time anyone ever said that to me. I was 11 years old. I was told that by my mom, who isn't the person you want to hear that from. Not really, you know? Not usually your mom is like, "Oh, what a handsome boy." She was like, "Work on the jokes, get a personality, start putting it together, okay? You're going to want to make what's coming out of your face interesting because no one's enjoying what's on the surface. Just figure." I'll tell you why she said it, okay? Because I feel the discomfort, and I want to address it, and let's delve deeper into what's making you uncomfortable. I was 11 years old. I was entering the 6th grade. In order to enter the 6th grade, I needed to get a physical from a doctor, and my mom decided to tell me about how beauty is on the inside to cheer me up after the doctor diagnosed me with scoliosis. I feel like some of you guys didn't laugh, so let's try that one more time. Let's say it one more time. My my mom told me about how beauty is on the inside after I was diagnosed with the most on the inside medical condition a human being can have. There's nothing more inside than your spine. That's as inside as you get. And she was like, oh man, beauty is about. She was sitting there and she was going, oh, beauty, shoot. After I pointed this out, she was like, hey, beauty. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And I was like, yes, Mom, people can behold my scoliosis. It's very pronounced. It's very clear. I have no idea what I am on the outside, but on the inside, I'm a 5. Both out of 10, and my spine is shaped like a 5. Like that's... And my mom was sitting there trying to figure out how to take back what she said. She was like, oh, beauty, oh, beauty phrases, beauty. And my sister was in the back seat of the car, and she was like, hey, is beauty on the inside for me? And my mom was like, no, you're fine. You're fine. Look, you have a slight overbite. That's a minor repair issue. Your brother has foundational problems. We're not going to flip the house on this one. We're not going to get our money back that we've put into this boy. I don't usually. I do the whole thing about my spine. I don't usually partake in jokes about my appearance. A lot of comedians do. A lot of comedians come on stages and they make jokes about what they look like. They make a lot of jokes about what they look like. I refrain from making jokes about what I look like because when I started doing comedy, a wise person told me, man is only a mystery to himself. No matter how clearly you think you see yourself, other people see you so much more clearly. You're never going to get the full scope. People are going to see things that you don't see. So don't even bother doing jokes about what you think that you look like. So I don't bother doing jokes about what I think that I look like. Instead, I do jokes about what other people have said to my face that I look like. And we'll see how this goes. I've gotten you look like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Good. Shaggy from Scooby-Doo if Shaggy had to put Scooby-Doo down. Pretty good. I've gotten you look like Richie Rich if his parents left everything to charity. Okay. I've gotten you look like Ron Howard if he was a meth addict. That's fun. I've gotten you look like high-functioning autism. See, in the studio. I don't even know if you guys awed, but there was an awe in the studio where I'm being recorded. I need you to listen to me, people watching this set, okay? I've done shows before quarantine, and I just had an awe in the studio without an awe. I want you to know, some people come to comedy shows, and they think ahs or oohs communicate sympathy for the comedian. It does not, my friends. Laughter communicates sympathy. Laughter communicates what a humorous, relatable thing we can all partake in. What a humorous observation. Aws just tells me that's accurate. That's, he said the thing we thought. That's all that means. That's 100% what that means. I'll do one more you look like, and it's because it's my absolute favorite. I was doing this show in Austin called The Heckle Factory, where the premise of the show is the comic gets on stage, the crowd can yell whatever they want. It's not this show. Please keep it to yourself. I don't even if I can't hear you, don't say it. Keep it to yourself. Let me do it. Let me own it, right? I don't want to know. Don't tweet it at me. Don't let me know. I've done so many of these shows. I've done so many comedy shows at this point, and people still walk up to me and they want to tell me what I look like. Like, I don't know at this point. Do you understand? When you tell me what I look like, I can't unsee it. Do you know how many times I've been walking around and I'll see like a TV that's turned off and see my own face and go, homeless Ron Weasley. I can't do it. I had a show recently where somebody walked up. I was doing this show in Austin called The Heckle Factory. Premise of the show, comedian gets on stage. The crowd is allowed to yell at the comedian while they perform. I walk onto the stage. I pull the microphone out of the stand. I push the stand off to the side. I look up at the crowd. I haven't said a word. They haven't had a chance to evaluate me based on what's on the inside at all. And someone in the back of the room stands up and calls out, "You look like how disappointment feels." What did we say about awing? Listen, what did we say? No. I said the thing we thought. We went over it. You. Unacceptable. This is a bizarre experience, but I want to let you know, wherever you're watching this from, I'm having a good time. This is a great show. You're a great crowd wherever you are. And I know a thing or two about great crowds. I can make claims like this. I know a thing or two about great crowds. I recently performed comedy at a strip club in Euless, Texas. Oh, I feel like the energy in the stream just shifted. Here we go. Now I got your faith. I'll tell you all about it. I was performing at the Stilettos Gentlemen's Club in Euless, Texas. I parked. I got to the front. I walked into the club. I walked over to the stage. I sat down. I immediately started texting my wife, Maggie. I was furious. I was angry. I was like, no one respects art anymore. This is ridiculous. I'm the only one watching the show. Everybody else is by the bar. They're playing pool. They're drinking. Nobody respects art. And she was like, oh my gosh, okay. She was like, well, she's very solution oriented. So she texted back, well, see if you can get a hold of the guy that booked you and see if he can get people to tune in to the comedy. And I was like, oh, no. The comedy hasn't started. I'm talking about the strippers. No one respects art. No one respects art. And she was like, I'm sorry, where are you? And I was like, I'm watching the show before my show, which is the respectful thing to do. That's the right thing to do. And she was like, are you tipping at least? And I said, I forgot it in ATM, so I am paying with my attention, which it's not okay. It's not look, I don't know what kind of corporate event this is. If there's one takeaway, you come with money. I think it's important. Come with money. You can't get away with. Here's the thing. I didn't know any better. Okay, I've never been to a strip club before in my life. I knew you had to support the dancers. I did not know that meant financially supporting them. You know, I thought it was more like an attitude, like you're doing great, keep going. You know, I thought that was, you have a voice that's so important. You know, I thought that was. I'm used to comedy. I'm used to shows like, you know, if you're performing for however many people, this many people or a camera, you know, you do it, and hopefully you've got like a good attitude about it. And I was watching this poor woman on stage. She was dancing for empty chairs and no people, and my heart was broken. I was like, this isn't what art is. This isn't what art should be. So I grabbed a stool and I pulled it as close to the stage as I could, and I looked her dead in the eye and said, listen to me. I am your fan. I'm here for you, okay? I want you to send me a Facebook page after the show. I'll like it. You know what I mean? Send me your events. I'm not going to click going, but I'll click interested because I am. I want you to succeed. You know, I'm here for. So I was watching, and here's the thing. Before, this woman had like a dead-eyed stare. She was zoning out through it, and now she's looking right at me, and it made it so much worse. It made it so all I wanted to do was help, but I don't know how to be at like a strip club. I don't know how to be supportive of people in a live environment. The last time I was supportive of anyone was at like a high school volleyball game. So this woman is taking off her clothes, and I'm just going, come on, Amber, let's see some hustle out there, you know? Be aggressive. B-E. Put my kid in the game. Put her in the game. She wants this so bad. You know how it is. You know how it goes. I'll only tell you this one last thing about the strip club is about an hour later the show started. I was performing for 5 people, which 5 people, 3 of whom were trying to watch a Cowboys game on the TV behind me. One of whom was receiving a dance, and one of whom was giving a dance. And I still think she counts. You know, I think it's important to say that she counts because she was still facing the stage. I think that's important. That's a very important distinction to make. I don't know. I'll tell you guys a little bit about this. I'll tell you guys. I used to. I don't know. I've been told I have a very dark set. I've been told I have kind of a bleak outlook. Sometimes people awe at that, and I hate it. I hate when they do that, you know? I'll tell you guys, I don't think I have a bleak outlook. I don't think I have a dark mindset at all. I think I have like a whole. The saddest thing about me, I listen to a lot of sad music in my spare time. You know, I listen to a lot of old pirate shanties on YouTube. That's what they're there for. I listen to a lot of Pink Floyd. Probably the saddest song I listen to, and I try to listen to it every day because every day it has a slightly deeper meaning. Is Right Said Fred, I'm Too Sexy. I don't feel like I'm getting any faith in this room. I want to let you, look, I'll move on. I have other jokes. But before I do, I want to let you know, if you haven't listened to that song recently, load it up on your phone. Have it ready when the set's out. Because I want you to rewatch it. I want you to watch it the way I've watched it, where you're watching it with the understanding that this song is about a man that is coming to terms with the power that he never asked for, in a world that hates and fears him for possessing that power. Okay, we're going to talk about the lyrics. We're going to get into it. Never mind. This is what I've committed. All right. The first lyric of the song is, I'm too sexy for my shirt, too sexy for my shirt, so sexy that it hurts. This man experiences daily chronic pain to the point he cannot partake in a joy we all get to take for granted, covering your chest and midriff with clothing. He puts on a shirt. He's like, poison. He has to take it off. That's insane. That's how sexy he is. Do you understand? The next lyric of the song is, I'm too sexy for Milan, New York, or Japan. This man wanders the globe, trying to find a medicine man that can cure him of this affliction. He's traveled north, south, eastern hemisphere. Everywhere he goes, they're like, I'm sorry, sir, you're too sexy for this continent. You got to get out. Get out. Walk the catwalk out. Get out. Get out. Next lyric I want to talk about is, I'm too sexy for my cat. Too sexy for my cat. Poor pussy. Poor pussy cat. Can anyone watching this even imagine having so much raw animal magnetism that you repel cats? Like, that's insane. He's so sexy that he can't take up the hobby of owning a cat. Do you understand? That's how sexy he is. That he just can't. The only thing, right said Frederick, has in this world is his modeling career and his story. Because that's all we have in this world is our story. That's the one thing no one can take from you. And yet, if you'll recall, he loses his story because the last lyric of the song is, and I'm too sexy for this song. At which point we assume he takes his own life. This has been fun. This has been good. This has been good. This felt good. I've been feeling good about this. Here's the thing. I know that my jokes are a little, might be. I hope I did. Here's the thing. As I have a couple minutes left, I want to let you know I really hope you enjoyed this. I believe it or not, my goal was for you to enjoy this. I didn't do this as a sort of prank to make you upset. People get upset after a comment, and I genuinely, if you're upset. If you didn't enjoy the set, I hope you reach out, find me on Twitter or Facebook, and please let me know. Because as a comedian, my goal is to help people enjoy comedy. I'm never out here trying to. I make people angry accidentally. I really don't mean to make anybody upset. I want to tell you guys about this before I go, as proof that I occasionally make people upset and don't mean to. I recently made my best friend in the world so angry that they blocked me on Facebook, and they still haven't unblocked me. I'll tell you what happened. He posted this on his Facebook wall. He posted this on his Facebook wall. He posted, 9/11 jokes are never funny. And before I continue, I want to let you guys know, objectively, ethically, I agree with that statement. As comedians, we can make a joke about anything, but nobody has to make a joke about that. No one's providing a service making a joke about that. Okay, so I don't disagree. Now, when I read that status, I read it as 9 out of 11 jokes are never funny. Which is not what he said. I don't know. I've seen that phrase so many times that I just never. I think the problem is it didn't start with never forget. I remember every time when it says never forget, I just saw a number and a slash and a number, and I thought, oh, fractions, proportions. That's my favorite thing. That's a way to denote an amount of a whole. Fractions. I read the status as 9 out of 11 jokes are never funny, which is why I commented under it, but those ones that are make it all worth it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope you guys had a great time. That's going to do it for me. I've been Wes Corwin. Y'all have a great night. Thank you. Thank you.
And that's our show. Please remember to visit the PFR Cares website to donate to the wonderful Sunshine Kids Foundation. Of course, we look forward to the day that the Sunshine Kids Foundation will no longer need to exist. But until then, the entire Sunshine Kids family is dedicated to providing the most exciting activities, trips, and events for as many young cancer patients as possible. Visit pfrcares.com to keep this foundation going. It's for the kids. I'm Gretcho. Have a wonderful night.
Wow, what a fantastic show. Thank you everyone for joining us for a Night of Laughs. And if our comedians made you laugh, groan, or even roll your eyes, we encourage you to make a donation to the Sunshine Kids at pfrcares.com. Any donation, no matter how big or small, would greatly help make these kids' lives a little bit easier while they are going through the toughest fight of their lives. If you're not able to make a donation tonight, we kindly ask that you share the donation page on social media with your friends and family to help spread awareness for this amazing organization. A huge thank you to all of our talented comedians for making this such a great show. And our biggest thank you goes out to you. Thank you for sharing some laughs with us tonight. Please head over to pfrcares.com to help support the Sunshine Kids. I know the kids thank you for your generous donations.
I would say thank you for as much as you can do because it changes people's lives.
Just being able to come to the Sunshine Kids, honestly, it changed my life.
Yeah, Sunshine Kids has been a definite life changer.
I honestly would say that they're basically lifesavers.
Oh my God, a million thank yous. Yeah, I would say thanks.
I would say 1,000 million thank yous.
Thank God for them.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. This has been a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I cannot thank you enough.
I just want to thank you guys once again.
Yeah, you're just filled with a lot of gratitude when you see what other people who don't know you contribute and make such a huge difference into your life.
It's good for the heart and the soul. It's good to see the happy.
It's just amazing.
Yeah, it's like it really is. Yeah. Everyone asks, how can you do what you do? And I always say there's more good days than bad. So, yeah, it's definitely.
This is the good. Yep.